for the first time in Six Nations history, Italy have beaten England. Sum up the occasion.
So it's been a hard game, so I speak in Italian. Abbiamo preparato la partita tutta la settimana, sapevamo che questo giorno sarebbe arrivato da 3 anni a questa parte, abbiamo lavorato durissimo e ce l'abbiamo fatta, è stata durissima in campo, è stata una partita tesissima, ma alla fine col nostro game plan siamo riusciti a portarla a casa.
You know that's a massive victory and we've been expecting and looking for this victory over the last 3 years. We knew that was going to happen and we worked extremely hard over the week to get the result.
And you had to fight for the whole 80 minutes, you had to win it, 13 points in the last quarter of the match. Tell me a bit about how you did that.
Come siete riusciti a recuperare questo secondo tempo?
Allora, siamo entrati in spogliatoio, sapevamo di aver concesso l'ultima meta del primo tempo un po' facilmente, ma eravamo accesi sin da subito nel secondo tempo. Abbiamo fatto sì che imponessimo sin da subito il nostro gioco e si è visto nel secondo tempo, negli ultimi 20 minuti si è riusciti a stare praticamente sempre nella loro metà campo e poi le occasioni si sono formate.
You know, we knew we considered a pretty easy try at the end of the first half, but when we came back from the changing room, we were on fire. We stick to the game plan, we worked on, and if you look at the last 20 minutes, we've been in England's alpha basically for the whole time, for the last quarter of the game, and that's the way we should have started result.
Tommaso, congratulations, you are the Guinness Men's Six Nations Player of the Match.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Michele, huge congratulations. You and your team have just created history for Italy. A first win against England in the Six Nations. Tell me about the pride that's coming out of you right now.
Well, yeah, obviously it was a lot of tension before the game. I think we felt as though this game was close. And so I felt a little bit of tension before the game. We were pretty nervous. But then during the game we built that sort of confidence into the game and we stuck to them. We were really close for the whole game, and then we had that last period where they got the 2 yellow cards and we managed to go over the line, and that was it. So after all, we fought together as always, and we stuck together for the whole 80 minutes, and that was the most important thing.
Well, your coach asked for an 80-minute performance. Did you feel like the yellow cards were a turning point where you felt, right, we're close, we can really go on and win this?
I think there are two main turning points. One was the first half when they scored the try. After that they got a couple of moments where they got a little bit of momentum, and we stuck together and we said, okay, guys, this is the moment where we really have to stick together and be, a wall. And straight away we scored after that. Second point, after the yellow card, first of all, our yellow cards, obviously we said, okay, we have to defend now. We did it firstly, then they got the yellow card, then we played on top. We got back with the points. At the end of the day, at the end of the game when we scored the last try. Amazing one, and obviously very proud of the performance. But we got another massive game next week, and we're going to go for it.
You certainly do, Michele. Congratulations and enjoy the celebrations tonight.
Thank you so much.
Commiserations. It felt like a close game throughout, but that last quarter seemed to be where it got away from England. What did you make of the performance?
Look, it's obviously disappointing. I think it's on us as players. We have to wear the performance. This team over the last year have put some good performances together. Of recent, we haven't, and we just have to face the facts and face the reality, and let's get back to work.
Talk about the performances. England came into the Six Nations on such a high. Can you figure out why the last couple of weeks you just haven't been able to put it together?
Obviously we have to figure that out. If we knew, we probably wouldn't be in this position. So we, as a team, just have to stick together. Teams go through tough periods, and we're going through a tough period now. As players, we take responsibility for that.
Ultimately, you've lost the game. Did you feel like, at least performance-wise, there were some green shoots in there for you to take to next week?
We just have to own the result. We're in a results-based business, and we have to own the result. The result wasn't good enough, and as players, as captain, I take responsibility for that.
Mara, commiserations. We'll see you next week. Gonzalo, huge congratulations. You and your team have created history. Coming into this Six Nations, you said you wanted to reward the fans for the promise that was building within the squad. You've certainly done that tonight. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling amazing because it was a tough game. I think England was good, putting pressure on our line-out, putting pressure on the breakdown. We couldn't get into our game. In the first half, every ball we had, that not were too many, we could do something interesting, score points, score tries, or 3 points. But I think they worked strategically really well. And I was worried that we couldn't find a solution, so I'm super proud. I think the bench did super well. We did the changes in the good moment, and I think I'm super proud of the guys. It was a tough one today because there were a little bit of expectations on us, and I think that's why you saw the team a bit like not knowing what to do today, because we were kind of favorites in their heads. So we have to learn from that. In second half, I think we liberate a bit, and I'm proud. It was a tough game, and we have to know how to win also the tough games. That they're not nice games, not beautifully like dirty tough games. So I'm super proud of the guys, and I think they totally deserve. We totally deserve this win.
Well, those feelings you talk about, are they not credit to your group for how, where previously you might have thought this was less than a 50-50, now there's expectation on the group to win? That's testament to all the work that you guys have put in.
Absolutely. To win today, with expectations to win against an amazing England side, is such a step on our growth path. It's such a big step. We have to stay with our feet on the ground. There's so many people around that are getting excited. I think there's a lot of things we have to keep on improving in the whole, not only the national team, but the whole federation, the way we work, we have to keep on growing. But I think it's a big day for Italian rugby today. And what can I say? I think things are so more difficult for our players that I think they deserve it. And I'm happy they find the solutions to get into the game, because we could feel from the outside that there was a chance. And they went for it and they got it. So great day for Italian rugby.
Well, more than a chance, you certainly took it. Congratulations, enjoy tonight, and we'll see you next weekend.
Thank you very, very much.
It's the first ever loss to Italy in the Six Nations. How do you sum up today's performance?
Yeah, well, I think firstly, credit Italy. This is a very good side that's developed a long way, and you see that with the level of their performance. For us, we are terribly disappointed. We're gutted by the not being able to get a result. For I thought 60 minutes, I thought we were in pretty good control of the game. 2 minutes, going down to 13 men, really hurt us.
You've now had to play this championship for a whole 80 minutes down a man, 7 yellows, 1 red. We touched on discipline in the Ireland game. It comes in different ways, but how much is that hurting you?
Yeah, well, certainly it's cost us. The amount of times we've been without back 3 players, forwards today, but the amount of time we've been without back 3 players and conceded points, and that it's certainly been a significant factor in the games in this championship. And it adds extra load to all the other players. It's certainly something we need to do a lot better.
Can you put your finger on why, coming into this tournament, there was so much promise about where England could go? Now, 3 losses in, another one next week could be the first time ever that England have lost 4. Why has it gone so wrong?
Yeah, I think you can look at each of the games individually. I think you've already touched on a couple of bits there around the number of times we were down a man against top quality opposition, and ultimately right now we've been unable to convert our chances into scores. If you look at England's try scoring record over the last year has been very, very good. The last 3 games, it's been poor. So we need to look again very closely at how we're going to get those chances into points.
Serious questions will be asked about how you guys now turn it around, going to Paris next weekend to face a team chasing a title. How do you do that? What do you say to the fans at home who are angry and really disappointed?
Yeah, well, I say to the supporters, I'll say thank you for the support they continue to give the team. We're bitterly disappointed. We feel it just as much as every one of the supporters feels it. We are desperate to make this England team win, as we have done for a large part of last year. What we've done, we lost 3 games on the bounce, lost 3 games in a row. We need to make sure that we have a great week this week in terms of training, and we put in a top quality performance in Paris next week.
Cool. Thank you, Steve. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.